on our YouTube channel. All right. So before we start, we want to know our participants here on um, our webinar sa Zoom. Kung saan kayo yun, please type in your code and your location this morning so that we'll be able to recognize you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand
We
says you'll
have
catch
from
me
Maa, okay,
wherever I fall.
6224, 6217, 6206. Meron tayong sa taga-Iwa, Buhangin. And so again, welcome to the first session of CAED 500C Component B seminar. So just to inform everyone that this course, CAED 500C, aims to enhance your readiness in the world of work through various components. For the last 4 weeks, um, you were able to tackle component A, uh, component which talks about your evaluating your skills, values, and interests, as well as on the enhancement of your self confidence and decision making skills. So right now, it's another component that you're going to unravel this morning and throughout our course for this term, the first term of second semester. And to start our seminar this morning, we request everyone to please be silent as we will have our opening prayer.
Benji, said prayer na lang. Ako na lang mag-lead.
All right, sir.
Okay na?
Okay na, sir.
Sige. Let us pray. Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Lord and Father of all, thank you for today. Thank you for ways in which you provide us all. For your protection and love, we thank you. Help us to focus our hearts and minds now on what we are about to learn. Inspire us by your Holy Spirit as we listen, understand, and follow today's lesson. Guide us by your eternal light as we discover more about the world around us. Help us to continue in our journey amidst our challenging situation. We ask all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right. So I guess everyone is now ready for our seminar this morning. Again, for those who cannot or not able to join here in our Zoom, so you can go to our YouTube channel. So please don't forget not to like and hit the bell button for you to be notified of the seminars that we're going to do here in CAED. And to be able to know the component B seminar this morning, ladies and gentlemen, our guest speaker this morning, Dr. Reynaldo C. Castro, the Vice President of External Relations and International Affairs Office. A virtual round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Benji. Good morning, everyone. And welcome to the component B of our CAED 500. Let me share my screen first. Nadidistract ako, may delivery na naman ako sa Lazada may share screen. Okay. Share. And then, sige, later. So, Okay, can you see my slides now? No. This is your CAED 500 and play from start. And this is your component B. No. Your CAED 500 is a unique course offered to all students of the University of Mindanao, especially those who are in your senior years, in your final years. But I understand that some of you who are enrolled in CAED 500 are not in their senior years, but it's okay, no? Even if you are not in your fourth year or in your fifth year, you can still enroll CAED 500. CAED 500 is being offered to all students in the University of Mindanao because it aims to bolster your chances of getting the job that you want. No, if you notice that in all your courses in the curriculum, especially your major courses, there are lessons that are not discussed, especially in ways how to help you get the job that you want. For example, preparing your application letter and resume, and these documents are very important. Another unique practice of CAIN 500 is that although this is one course and this is a 3 unit credit course, this is being handled by different faculty, different professors, teachers in the university. There are three components, no? Component A is handled by the Guidance and Testing Center. So your first few weeks in CAED 500 was handled by the Guidance and Testing Center, and that is 30% of your grade. Your component B and component C are handled by our office, external relations, and there are CAID 500 coordinators taking charge of your meetings. No, they're the one checking your sample outputs, and they're the one maintaining the LMS. My role actually is to deliver the topics for every seminar that you are going to have in your CAID 500. So these are the distribution of grades, no, of points, how you are being graded in CAID 500. Your component A is 30% of your grade, your component B is 30%, and your component C is 40%. So you have to take note of that, meaning you have to make it sure that you have attended all the components of CAID 500 for you to be able to get a grade of CAID 500. After all, even if it is not a major requirement, I mean, it's not one of your major courses, but you cannot graduate if you have not completed CAID 500, okay? And this is how you are being graded in CAED 500. Unlike in your other courses that, it requires, it's so tedious, no? It's a tedious process. But in CAED 500, especially for component B and component C, the requirements are you all have to attend the seminar. And this is the seminar for component B today. And you have to submit sample application letter and resume, and there are coaching sessions, no, scheduled by your CAED 500 facilitators. Okay. And for component C, there will be another seminar, and we are thinking of doing a mock interview, a virtual interview, because actually, pre-pandemic, CAED 500, during the pre-pandemic, students have to undergo a mock interview, no? But with the online, the virtual classes that we have right now, we're having difficulty. But for this semester, we are planning to include again the mock interview in the session, no? And your CAED 500 facilitators will give you instruction, specific instruction, and on how are you going to go about it, okay? And then there will be culmination program, and you are going to submit a sample career portfolio. All right. Your CAID 500 facilitators will give you the details on how to go about it. So as simple as that, you have to just comply the requirements of CAID 500, learn from the course, and that's it. No. Okay. For today's topic, we are going to discuss two important things, no? Although you have seen on screen three, no? One is how to prepare cover letter and resume, how to face a dreaded interview, and nonverbal communication. Even if you will be interviewed the job interview will be done through remote virtual modality, but still nonverbal communication is also very important. Cover letter and resume are two most important documents in your pre-employment application, no, in the pre-employment process, because the the preparation, the kind of application letter or cover letter and resume that you will submit to your potential employer will determine whether there is a chance for you to pursue, to proceed to the next level of the screening process, which is the job interview. And the job interview is the deciding factor for whether you are qualified or you deserve to be hired for the position. Okay? So let's start with cover letter. Cover letter, or popularly known as application letter. Why write a cover letter? No? Bakit kayo kailangan mag-submit ng application letter or ng cover letter? Where in fact, the details about yourself is in the resume. No? Kung qualified ka ba, anong mga education mo, anong qualification mo, anong experience mo, are in the resume, not in the cover letter. So why write a cover letter? Well, resume, in most cases, when you write your resume, is in the bullet form. No? Is in not in the paragraph form or in a sentence form. So that's why it's also very important to assess your communication skills, particularly your writing skills. And that can be seen in your application letter or in your cover letter. So that's the first level, first stage of evaluation process. It is expected, regardless of your course, regardless of your degree, whether you are criminology, education, accountancy, business administration, architecture, or engineering, it is therefore expected that you can write, because in your career, no, in your career, when you are going to work, you need to, there will come a point that you need to write. You write a report, you write a communication letter, no, and whatever it is. Basta sa iyong trabaho, once ma-hire ka na in the future, mag-work ka na in the future, there will really come a point that you are going to write. No? That's why they have to test your writing skills, your communication skills. The other purpose why you are going to write a cover letter is that for you to highlight your particular skills, not the specific, because you are going to put that in your resume, but you are going to put there the gist. You are giving reason, the interviewer or the HR, reason to pursue, to continue reading your documents. Okay? So, highlight particular skills, past work histories, or other areas that are specific to the job that you are applying. You think of your application letter or your cover letter as a quick sales pitch. No? And the third reason is that it's one way of setting yourself apart from the rest of the applicants. And come to think of this always, that in one position there are a dozen or two of you applying for the job. And what is therefore your chances of being noticed, no, of getting noticed by the the interviewer or the HR. All right. So that's why you have to carefully concentrate, give time in writing your application letter. Ang problema pa naman natin ngayon sa generation ninyo, no? You're always in a hurry, all right? You don't like to stick to something, no? Ayaw ninyo ma-stuck na matagal sa isang bagay na ginagawa ninyo. So, for example, writing something, writing an application letter. Sometimes it is done haphazardly, no? So, kailangan nyo talaga mag-spend ng so much time. Because remember that those who will entertain you, no, in your application process, the one in charge in the HR, come from different generation. They are from older generation, and they have different characteristics and personalities than you are. All right, so you have to suit to their tastes. No, okay. So this is a sample application letter, and these are the important elements that you have to consider in preparing your application letter. One is heading, no? And then the other one is your inside address, uh, the name of the employers, job title, all right, business name and business address. So employer's name or the name of the addressee, you have to write there the name of the addressee. Kanino mo dapat i-address ang letter? Hindi mo alam, especially kung mag-a-apply ka sa isang company na hindi ka familiar, all right? Most likely you are not familiar. So the thing there is that you have to exert extra effort. How are you going to do that? You call somebody in the company. If you know somebody in the company, then inquire from that person kung kanino mo pwede i-address ang letter. Or the best thing that you can do is that you call the HR. Because in most cases, no, it's the HR in charge of processing all the application documents. No? So you call the HR, or if you can like visit the company, then you go to the office, no, to the agency, and you go straight to the HR. You ask from there, from that office, the HR office, that you are interested to submit an application letter and you want to get the name of the addressee. Okay? The complete name, never misspelled the name of that person. No, it's going to be a taboo. It's going to be a no-no. All right? So get the correct spelling and the correct position of that person. All right? So sample, Miss Joanne Santos, HR manager. So klaruhin nyo kung HR manager ba talaga siya or kung vice president siya for HR or kung ano ang posisyon niya. No? Depende din kasi yan. May mga companies that you submit your application, you address your application to the president, direct to the president, or to the head of the office, or to the HR. Depende yan ha. So, hindi mo alam kung kanino mo yan isa-submit. That's why, klaruhin mo at the start kung kanino ba talaga, ano ang pangalan ng person sa office, at saka anong posisyon niya. Okay? And then the name of the organization, and then the address. So that's how are you going to do it. It's a form of respect, no? That you are taking extra effort, doing extra effort in getting to know the name of the addressee. Next is the salutation, right? You have to be formal sounding on this part. Do not use dear as it may diminish the formal tone of the letter, all right? So for example, you would say, Miss Santos. Kasi ang pangalan ng addressee mo, Miss Joanne T. Santos. So, sabihin mo, Miss Santos. Wag dear Miss Santos. No? Okay? So, Miss Santos. First paragraph. Okay? If you notice, the entire letter, meron na kayong tatlong paragraphs. Yan ang advice. No? Do not write more than one page application letter. Right? So first paragraph, you state how did you get to know the information of the job opening or job position, and you mention your interest for the position. Alright? Paano mo nalaman? Saan ka nakakuha ng information? Okay? Did somebody told you? Have you read the information, found the information in a newspaper? Alright? In an announcement? Okay? So you mentioned that because that is important. That is important to the company for them to know whether they have made an announcement and their announcement, no, their effort of informing the public of the position is effective or not. All right. So, for example, in response to the May 18 advertisements in Mindanao Times, I have enclosed my resume for the marketing assistant position. Okay. The second paragraph, describe your qualifications. All right. How are you going to do that? No. Well, 2 points. Number one, point out any related experience you have, maybe from your OJT or professional work. Importante ang experience, no? Ano ang experience mo ngayon? Kung wala kang professional experience, you can cite your OJT experience. Importante ang exposure. So yan ang experience. Kasi kung may exposure ka na, meron ka na experience, ibig sabihin nun, madali na lang. No? It's going to be easy for the supervisor to teach you how to go about it. Okay? And then, You sell your skills and knowledge relevant to the position. That may refer to your characteristics, no? Your attributes, anong meron ka? Anong meron ka, personality mo that you think that are relevant to the position. Okay? And then you close. You close the paragraph, no? You close the letter uh, with by thanking the reader and requesting for an interview, no? So you can say, I wish to discuss my qualifications and interest for the position with you at your most convenient time. I can be reached. You cite your number, no, your contact number and your email address. These are very important, your contact number and your email address, because these are the most efficient way of giving you feedback on the status of your application. All right? Kasi gusto mo malaman no, kung ano ba, na-apply ka ba, natanggap ka ba, no? Or are you going to move to the next part, no? Or the next stage of the screening process, okay? So that's very important, no? Dapat ang number mo 24-hour round the clock, no? Available 'yan lalo na this time, okay? Na mahirap masyado ang face to face, all right? Information, giving of information. So the best form of giving you feedback on the status of your application is through your cell phone, contact number, or mobile number, and your email. And then you close sincerely. No? Do not write there, very truly yours. Kasi kung Tagalogin mo ang very truly yours, ako'y iyong buong buo. So hindi siya formal sounding. Okay? Remember that this is an application letter and you have to be consistent to be formal, no? In the entire writing of your application letter. All right? Then your name, and then you sign. Do not forget to sign your application letter. So simple. That's how are you going to prepare your application letter. And let's see, because your CAED 500 coordinators will ask you to submit your sample application letter. Okay, so by now, after our talk today, after our CAED 500 session, you can start writing, no, your application letter. You know what? The more that you practice writing, no, the more that you can develop the art and style of writing seamlessly. Okay? So there's another sample letter, no. This one won, I think, our best portfolio award in CAED 500. So I asked them to share the copy to me so that you can take a look at how this student wrote his application letter. Ayan, so Mr. Dexter Baluran, human resource staff siguro, no? Doon mo lang i-address ang letter, no? So okay na sa kanila, no? Mr. Baluran, I would like to apply for internship in the medical psychiatric department to join your STEAM organization. I saw a listing advertised on your official website searching for job.com about your company in need of interns. So, ayan, makita mo kung nandyan yung ating indicator kanina na sinasabi that you have to inform kung paano mo nalaman ang information about the position and your interest, all right? I am a graduating student taking up Bachelor of Science in Psychology at UM. I have a 1-year experience of being a previous officer in our program's academic organization and 3 years of being a president of a classroom officers that helped me to have an excellent teamwork skills and leadership qualities and can demonstrate exceptional organizational and time management skills, no? So sinight niya yung kanya experience at saka yung kanyang mga attributes, all right? So that's a sample application letter. Next up, after your application letter is your resume, no? I said that application letter and your resume are the two most important documents. If these are not well written, and you have submitted this document to a company that you wish to work with in the future, and then you have been waiting for quite some time and you have not received any response, simple answer. Why is that so? Why you were not called for you to move to the next level? Your resume and your application letter are not well written. Ganun lang kasimple, no? Kung hindi ka natawagan, walang follow-up after your submission of your documents, no? of your resume and of your application letter, you have not received any feedback or any call from the company, very simple answer. Hindi maganda pagkasulat, hindi maganda pagka-prepare ang iyong application letter at saka ang resume mo. Alright? Posible, tinapon na yon, diretso na yon sa waste bin. Kaya dapat you have to spend time. No? You have to put some effort in writing your application letter and your resume. So it says here that the resume is your personal brochure to market yourself. It should give your potential employer a quick view of what you can do for them. So it's just like, you are going to buy a new laptop, a new cell phone, 'di ba? So in most cases, what you are going to do is that you're going to grab a sheet of brochure of that product, no, of that thing that you are planning to buy, and then you are going to see the specs, no, the picture, and everything about that product. And so if it suits your needs, no, the thing that you are looking for from a laptop or from a cell phone, then most likely you are going to buy that. The same thing with resume. So the person who wishes to buy something is the HR or the company, and that he or she is going to grab a copy of the resume of the applicants and do some skimming, reading of which of those resume are worthy of her or his time. Okay? So, ganun siya, no? So, pag-isipan nyo talaga kung paano magsulat ng magandang resume. So for new graduates just like you can list your accomplishments in school. Do not worry about not having work-related accomplishments. I already mentioned that you can cite your immersion, your OJT as your experience. Pick out those school accomplishments that show responsibility, reliability, cooperative spirit, and the like. Sometimes common questions raised by um, students like you who are about to graduate and who are about to enter the world of work is that how are you going to compete with those with experience, no, years of professional work experience? The thing there is that, well, you don't apply for work if you are a new graduate. You don't apply for a work that requires years of experience. You know what I mean? You apply for an entry level position. You need an experience. That's the thing there, no? So if you are going to apply for an entry level position, in most cases, what is required there is that someone who is like you, someone who just a new graduate, uh, with a little or no background or no work experience at all, 'di ba? So if you're going to compete with someone who has years of experience, I think there's something wrong there, no? Like, why is it as someone with years of experience will apply for an entry level position, 'di ba? Just like what you are doing, what you are going to do in the future. You know what I mean? So meaning to say that that someone is not really a threat, not a major threat for you, okay? Then who are your threats? Those applicants who are at the same level at you are. You know what I mean? Okay? So, yung mga batch mo ngayon, yung mga kasabayan mo na nag-graduate, most likely, magkasabayan kayo mag-apply sa same level entry position. Ang mangyayari nun is that tingnan mo, no, try to look at them kung anong meron ka or anong meron sila na wala ka or ano kayang pwede mong gawin para meron kang competitive advantage over them. And I'm telling you that while you are still in school, you can make the most out of your stay in school. Why you are still in school, no? So ayan, no, sinadya ko isulat diyan yung responsibility, reliability, cooperative spirit, and other exposures that you have in school. All right? Kasi ganito yan. Kung ikaw, simpleng estudyante ka lang, no, okay, maganda ang grades mo at simpleng estudyante ka lang, and that's it, okay, mabait ka na estudyante, walang problema doon. Eh kaso may ibang estudyante, may ibang aplikante, hindi lang sila mabait, hindi lang din maganda ang kanilang grades, pero they have other exposures. They have done community extension. They have uh, they have leadership ability, no? They help organize a student activity. They have participated in many activities in the university while they're still in school, okay? And that makes them different from the rest. Those experiences gave them a competitive advantage over the other applicants. All right? So kaya sinasabi ko sa inyo na dapat kung estudyante kayo, hindi lang enough na estudyante kayo because you have to make the most of your experience, of your stay in the university. Alright? Ganun yun, no? So, anong kaibahan? Anong meron ang estudyante na to? Anong meron ang aplikante na to? Nung time na estudyante pa siya, anong nakasulat sa kanyang resume? Wala siya masyadong maisulat. Okay. Samantala itong isang to meron, no? So, meron talaga siya potential, no? Okay? Because an HR, a recruiter, a company will really consider someone who can give value added contribution to the company. You know what I mean? Oh. So if you during your time when you were a student have done something more than what is expected from you, then therefore it gives you what? It gives you an edge, no? Okay? It will bolster your chances of being selected compared to other applicants. So what I'm trying to say is that estudyante pa kayo, dapat you have to go out from your shell. Right? So ito yung suggested format, no? You write your name, your address, ayan. These are important information. Your contact number and your email address are also very important because as I said, these are the most efficient way of giving you feedback on the status of your application, especially if you will be requested to proceed to the next level, no? Your summary statement in a gist, marunong ka ba magsulat at mag-describe sa sarili mo kung paano mo ibenta ang sarili mo in a statement or two. That's a summary statement. All right? Okay. Clever ba? Parang, magaling ang batang to. Smart siya, no? Kasi marunong talaga siya magbenta ng kanyang sarili. Hindi pwede yung humble ka, hindi pwede yung parang may element of surprise and mystery ka pa na, okay, ikaw man ang mag-hire sa akin, i-discover mo kung ano ako, anong meron ako, no? Hindi pwede ganon. And then your work or school or OJT experience, all right? And then kung meron ka OJT experience or may work experience ka na, professional work experience, ano yung mga job responsibilities mo, no? Those are very important kasi marunong ka pala nito, may exposure ka pala sa ganito, no? Okay? Importante 'yon sa potential employer mo. And then what are your accomplishments in school? As I said, hindi pwede na simple ka lang. Wala ka talaga na-accomplish, no? Kasi nga, others applying for the position, meron sila. So, dapat meron ka ding panlaban. Alright? Meron kang iba, no? May something sa iyo na iba, no? Meron kang na-achieve na iba. Alright? Okay. And of course, your education. Anong degree mo? Kung may awards ka or whatever, yan, isulat mo. So ganun lang, kasimple ang pagkasulat ng iyong resume, pero malaman siya, no? It suits to the needs and interests of the potential employer. Okay? So in short, a resume should answer these key questions. What can you do for me? Do you have the skills I'm looking for? Where have you worked before? No? Is your experience relevant to my needs? Do you have the right education and credentials? What kind of person are you? Itong what kind of person are you, this refers to your characteristics, no? Like for example, team player ka ba, no? Motivated ka ba, no? Are you driven by a strong motivation? Are you a career oriented person? May dream ka ba sa life mo? Pag tinatanong ka, how do you see yourself 10 years from now? Ang sagot mo ba masyadong personal-oriented or career-oriented? Okay? Alright. Pag sinasabi mo personal-oriented, sabihin mo, how do you see yourself 10 years from now? I want to have a family of my own and three children with three children, something like that. No? So that's very personal. Saan ang career mo? Saan na kami doon sa 10 years mo, no? Okay? And where can I contact you? Ayan. So when you write your resume, you go back to these questions and find whether your resume the items, no, in your resume answer each of these questions. Okay? All right. So how long should a resume be? No more than 2 pages. Remember that it's a resume, it's not a curriculum vitae. One different things, one different thing between a resume and a curriculum vitae is that the number of pages. No, a curriculum vitae is written by someone who has achieved so much in his professional and career life. No, a resume is written by someone like you who is novice in the world of work, no, who just finished education, no, a degree in higher education, and who is about to enter uh, the world of work. All right? So kaya hindi dapat na mahaba masyado ang pagkasulat ng inyong resume. Kasi nga, ang isang rason din doon, busy masyado ang mga HR. They don't have time, no, to read everything that you have written there in your resume. That's why when they read that, they will only read that skimmingly. What should I include in my personal data? Well, in general, avoid facts that may be used to discriminate against you. That's why we're not talking about religion, your height, your weights, no, in your resume. And part of that is picture. Should I put my photo in my resume? My personal opinion there is that best not to. All right, because uh, again, there are many reasons. Why is that? Let's accept the fact that some of us are not endowed with good looks. And because we know that reality that we are not endowed with good looks, then we want to be good looking in our photo, then we ask the photographer to do something about our picture. And during the interview, no, sometimes kung si Benji pa yan, si Sir Benji pa yan, mahilig yan siya magsabi na reality versus expectation. No? So, nag-expect ka na, oh, good looking ito siya kasi yun ang nakalagay sa kanyang picture. Pagdating sa reality, ay chops. O, di ba? So, hindi na maganda ang impression. Second is that, bigyan mo rin ng element of mystery and surprise. Doon mo ipasok yung mystery and surprise na, ano kayang mukha nito ng aplikante na to, no? Although minsan yung iba nag-i-stalk, makita mo yun sa social media. That's why you also have to be careful on what you are posting in the social media because other HR, when they do background investigation, they will just check your social media account, no? So careful kayo sa mga gina-post, ginalagay ninyo sa social media ninyo, no? So, okay. Uh, part of your resume also is references, no? These references are persons who are supposed to vouch or validate the veracity, the truthfulness of the things that you have written in your resume. Ibig sabihin, paano namin ma-validate, ako HR, paano namin ma-validate na totoo ang mga sinusulat mo doon sa resume mo? And who can really speak about you as an applicant. So these are the reference persons. So you're helping them provide a reliable person that can really bolster, no, your credibility and your chances of getting the job that you want. So these are the references or the reference person. So make it sure that number one, they know who you are. No? Do not put any names there na hindi ka kilala, no? Hindi mo nga sila kilala, hindi ka din nila kilala. They know you are applying for what and where. So the best thing that you can do is that you inform them ahead of time. No? Tell them that, sir, ma'am, pwede ko ba kayong kunin na reference person kasi nag-a-apply ako sa ganitong company and once masubmit ko na po yung aking application at saka yung aking resume, there is a possibility that they will contact you. Would that be okay? No? So i-inform mo sila ahead of time na kinuha mo silang reference person at nag-apply ka sa ganitong company para hindi naman sila ma-surprise. Alright? At saka para makapag-prepare din sila. Summary statement. Well, summary statement is about, I already mentioned that, no? It's about in gist. How are you going to sell? How are you going to tell the potential employer of your qualifications and of your potentials and your abilities, no, in a statement or two? That's summary statement. So sabi dito that it should briefly highlight your strongest skills specific to that position, and you mention relevant career highlights. No? Importante ang skills mo. Importante anong meron ka. No? Especially yung mga degree na kailangan yung competencies. For example, engineering, ayan, no? HRM, okay, architecture, uh, criminology, no? Kailangan yung mga skills niyo, yung mga competence niyo because you are expected, for example, to manipulate, operate machines, some machines and equipment, all right? Or ang computer science and IT, no? Programming, no? So marunong ka ba nito? Marunong ka ba ng mga ganitong mga language, no? Okay? So importante yung iyong skills. We don't hire for whatever but we hire for skills, all right? We also hire for attitude, or we also hire for characteristics, and these are the specific characteristics that we are looking for from an applicant. Okay, so I have sample statement here, no? And when you are going to write your summary statement, let's go back to the second paragraph of your application letter. That number one, you bank on your experience, and number two, what are your characteristics or your attributes that you think relevant, helpful in the performance of the function of the job. Okay? So, for example, sabi dito, an achiever with a track record of leadership in handling school organizations, possesses excellent skills in problem solving, planning, and fundraising. Resourceful, works well under pressure, and delivers timely results. So take note that the first statement talks about experience. Experience niya sa school, no? Although this is a generic statement, but, you know, might be that the position requires someone who has a leadership ability. That's why he mentioned that, I have experience when I was in school handling school organizations, all right? Leading school organizations, all right? So that's my experience when it comes to leadership. And then I have skills in problem solving, planning, and fundraising. Okay. So if this is the statement that you have in your application letter, and the HR would say, oh, you mentioned here that you're an achiever with a track record of leadership in handling school organizations. Can you tell me something about this? Ikaw kinopya mo lang, no, 'di ba? Kay lami ka isa pagkasulat, nindot pagkasulat, so ako ning kopyahon, no. Mao ni akong isulat sa akong resume. Pag question sa imo kay wa ka kapanukan, edi magpitok-pitok ang imong mata, no? O, 'di ba? So, the best thing that you are going to do is, even if you are going to copy that because you think that is also a reflection of who you are, pero imuha po ng panukaran, no? Imuha po ng pangandaman na, hala, kung questionon ka ko ani, unsaon ka na ko ni pagtubag, di ba? So, the best way that you can do is that you tell the specifics, no? Unsa ang details sa imuhang leadership experience when you were still in school. All right? Okay. So, and then you see that the succeeding statements talk about the attributes of the applicant. No? Unsa imong batasan, unsa imong characteristics, di ba? Okay. Another one is that you have here, I think, HRM ito, no? A hardworking individual with excellent cooking skills, specializing in Japanese dishes, gained from work experience as a cook in a restaurant chain. Ayan. So the first statement talks about the experience of the applicant working in a Japanese restaurant. And for sure, this applicant is also applying for another Japanese, no, restaurant or organization. Gets along well with people, trustworthy, and reliable. So in short, the applicant has amiable personality, a friendly personality, and probably that is very necessary if you're going to work in a hotel or in a restaurant. Dili pwede ng suplada or supladito, no? Okay. So some things that you have to watch out in preparing your application. One is that there is no contact info. So pabalik-balik, sinasabi ko yung importansya ng inyong contact information, yung inyong email address, yung inyong telephone number. Because as I said, kung kailangan i-contact kayo and you are going to move on to the next level, then paano kayo i-contact? Just very recently, I recommended one of our graduates, no. He was once our exchange student in Taiwan, and may bakante sa somewhere in Region 12, no? Region 12, sa government. Tapos, so nirecommend ko, nag-submit na siya ng application, tumawag sa akin yung head of office, no, yung director na saan na daw yung aplikante because during the application, during the screening, hindi daw sumipot. So nung tinanong ko, oy, nagtawag ang office, hindi ka daw sumipot. Siya, sir, hindi man ako na-inform. Oh, so anong problema doon? Baka hindi ka nag-provide ng email, mali ang email mo, or mali ang contact number mo, no? So, you call the office kung pwede ka pa makahabol kasi sayang din. So, yung mga ganun na kaso, lalo na ngayon, no? Mahirap kontakin minsan kung ang lugar mo, no? Walang connection o hindi ka palagi nag-o-open ng email mo. Oh, so, ang best way is kailangan mo ng magandang connection sa cellphone. Alright? So tingnan mo kung anong network ang maganda sa inyo, no? Pareho sa akin, I have Globe and I have Talk and Text and I have Sun kasi depende sa lugar eh. Kung nandito ako sa ganitong lugar, minsan walang connection ang Globe, walang connection ang Smart, o 'di ba? Walang connection ang Talk and Text, something like that. All right? Typo, no? Typo is a mortal sin in your application because bakit ka magkaka-typo? Eh, for sure computer generated ang lahat ng documents na isa-submit mo and ang computer mag-auto-correct yan. So hindi talaga pwede magka-typo. So kung may typo dyan, that is negligence on your part and that's already a demerit on your part, no? So magkakaroon na yan ng hindi magandang impression on the part of the potential employer that ikaw careless ka, hindi mo ni-review ang iyong document. Ako manonotice ko mga kasamahan ko sa office, yung ating mga CAED 500 facilitators, no? They keep on complaining that some students when they submit documents, yung iba kinopya, no? Nag-copy lang sila sa kanilang mga classmates tapos yung iba, kung i-plagiarize check mo, mababagsak no sa score kasi kinopya lang sa internet. Yung iba naman pabalik-balik ang mali. So makita mo talaga that some of our students and some of our young people today, they really don't spend so much time in what they're doing. No? They don't put their hearts on it. Alright? Di nila binibigyan ng pansin, inaayos yung kanilang trabaho. And remember that one values, no, that we espouse in the University of Mindanao is excellence. And you know what do you mean by excellence? Ibig sabihin that you do something that is within to the standards and expectations of the person that, where you are going to submit your output, all right? And if you don't do that, you don't ensure that this um, adhere to the standards, no, or qualifies to the standards, you are not following the values of excellence that we espoused in the university. All right? So kung hindi ka ganon, I do not know kung paano ka mag-success, no, sa journey mo. All right? If you don't put your heart on the things that you are doing, I do not know how you will be successful in this world. All right? Yun lang sinasabi ko. So, di pwede na mag-earn ka lang ng degree and that's it. All right? Because ang daming kakompetensya mo. And if other people are also putting their heart, they are so serious on what they are doing and you are not, you will be left behind. I'm telling you. All right? Too much information that you tend to forget important information. And number four, you have penchant for format. No? Gusto mo ipakita na alam mo lahat ng format. So, lahat ginagamit mo solid block, semi-indented and the like, no? Dapat you have to be consistent. If you are using one format in one document, then you use that all throughout all your documents. If you are using this font style, then you use that font style all throughout your documents, all right? And then you are telling some lies, some exaggerations, no? Do not tell a lie because there will really ways of the HR validating the things that you have mentioned in your application letter and in your resume. So you have to be truthful. Okay? So again, yun na naman ang second values ng UM, no? Honesty and integrity, no? So you have to remember always our core values. So, natapos na tayo sa first two documents na kailangan ninyo i-prepare at kailangan ninyo i-submit. Inom muna ako ng tubig, ha? Kasi nauuhaw ako sa kandal. Okay. So, sabi ko kanina, kung maalala ninyo that kung nag-submit kayo ng application letter at saka ng resume, tapos you have not received any feedback, simple. Hindi maganda pagkasulat ang inyong resume at saka ang inyong application letter. Pero kung pag-submit ninyo at tinawagan kayo and you are requested to proceed to the interview, then therefore congratulations. Maganda pagkasulat ang inyong resume at saka ang inyong cover letter. And the next, most likely the next phase that you are going to have, no, in your application process is the interview. And for sure you will agree with me if I would say that the interview is the most dreaded part of your screening process, no? You know, butterflies, not only butterflies but crocodiles and dinosaurs are fighting with each other in your stomach, 'di ba? So naga-crumble ka, naga-tense ka and the like. So that's why, because of uncertainties, no? You do not know how are you going to, what questions will be asked, how are you going to respond to these questions. So normal yan siya, no? That's why you have to prepare yourself. And that's why in CAED 500, we want that you will experience interview, because I believe that the more that you will undergo interview, the more that you are going to face that dreaded experience, the more that you can gain confidence, no? The more that you can, it's easy, it's going to be easy for you every time you will be facing an interview, because meron na palang technique, no? May tip na pala, no? May style na pala, madali lang pala magharap sa isang interview. All right? And why the interview is the deciding factor. Oh, so ganito 'yan. Kung nakaabot ka na sa interview, na-interview ka, and you were not hired for the position, simple. No? Very simple reason. Bakit hindi ka natanggap? Because hindi maganda ang performance mo during the interview. Because the interview is the deciding factor. Kung ako ang HR or ako ang interviewer, hahanapin ko ngayon base sa interview kung sino talaga ang best candidate for the position. Alright? Kaya nga may interview para makita ko kung sino ngayon sa kanila ang best qualified. No? Best qualified to perform the position. Alright? So how are you going to prepare for the interview? And sabi dito that preparation is winning half the battle. Sancho Art of War ito. So sa inyo, kung sino sa inyo ang nakabasa ng book ni Sancho The Art of War, sabi doon that when you prepare for the battle, then you will win half of the battle. Okay? But if you have not prepared for that occasion, then you lose half of it. All right? Okay. So you have to prepare, because job interview questions are the same questions over and over again. I'm telling you, there is no surprises there. The questions that will be asked from you is the purpose of which actually is to test whether you can perform the job, whether you have the attitude, whether you have the ability, whether you are ready for the job, okay? Whether you have prepared for that position and whether you have prepared for the occasion. Ganun lang, no? So, ganun ka-importante ang interview. At sinasabi dito that how candidates behave during the interview is often seen as an indicator of how they will perform. So kaya nga interview ang deciding factor, kasi kung makikita na kita paano ka nakaupo, paano ka magsalita, paano ka mag-respond sa questions ko, makikita ako kung paano mo gagawin at ma-perform yung trabaho na ibibigay ko sa iyo. Okay? The better prepared you are, the less nervous you will feel and the more confident you will appear. So importante dito ang confidence because merong impression that if you are not confident and if you are not spontaneous in your answer, therefore you are not ready for the position and you are not truthful to your answer. You know what I mean? You follow what I say, no? Sabi ko that kung hindi ka spontaneous sa pagsagot, no? Matagal ka makasagot, no? Pautal-utal ka magsagot sa question ko, ibig sabihin nun, hindi ka sincero sa sagot mo. Where in fact, hindi naman talaga totoo, no? It's not all the time that kung matagal ka makasagot, ibig sabihin nun nag-isip ka pa, no? At bakit ka mag-iisip? Because normal yan sa atin eh. Pero it's not acceptable during job interview. Kailangan when you go to an interview, ready ka. Dapat kuan ka, no? Punong-puno ka ng energy, no? Ready ka for that occasion. Pinaghandaan mo 'yon. All right? So, kung spontaneous ka, confident ka, ibig sabihin honest ka, no? Totoo yung mga sinasabi mo and ready ka for the job. All right? The more you know about the company and the position, the better you will sell yourself. Importante 'yan kasi pareho lang 'yan sa you want to get into a relationship, no? 'Di ba? Bago ka pumasok sa isang relasyon, dapat alamin mo muna ang isang tao, no? Kung match ba kayo or kung gusto mo ba siya, baka 'di ba? Sabi nga doon sa survey na lumabas, ano daw intelligence versus facial feature, no? Versus mukha. At lumabas sa survey na 4 out of 5 sinasabi nila intelligence. Maniwala ka doon, no? Di yung totoo. Pero ang punto doon is that if you are looking for a long-term relationship, importante yung match. Hindi pwede sa isang relasyon na opposite attracts. There is no such thing as like that. The same thing with if you are going to work in a company. Hahanap ka talaga ng company na magmamatch sa gusto mo, no? Sa ambition mo, sa career aspiration mo sa life. All right? And before going into that company, hindi lang dapat na may trabaho ako or what, no? Kundi i-research mo muna kung ano ang company all about. So ako din, kung ako ang company, kung ako ang HR, kailangan ko din malaman kung sino ka, no? Ano ka? Magmamatch ba yung interest mo, yung career aspiration mo sa life, at saka yung organizational objectives ng company, ng aming organization. Magmamatch ba, okay? Ngayon, iti-test kita, no? Kung pinaghandaan mo ba yon. So sinasabi dito that the more you know about the company and the position, the better you will sell yourself. Pero kung pumunta ka lang doon dahil may bakante, alright, at gusto mo na magtrabaho kasi gusto mo na magkapera, no? Kasi sinasabihan ka na ng parents mo na o magtrabaho ka na kasi dana ang responsibility ko sa iyo, wala ka ng allowance from me, o di ba? So kaya magtrabaho ka na at yun lang ang gawin mo, hindi pwede ganoon, no? Di ba? Okay. That's why we see so many young individuals, no? Wala silang career, no? Walang career. Hindi klaro sa kanila ang career. Ang kanila lang is for employment purposes. All right? Na makapagtrabaho sila and that's it, no? Trabaho ako ng 8 o'clock hanggang 5, uwi ako, may sweldo ako, lamierda ako, and that's it. Okay? Hindi pwede ganon. No? So what's the hiring managers are looking for during your job interview? Number one is the ability to perform the job. Importante yan, no? Can you perform the job? If there's a need for you to operate a machine, operate an equipment, do something, do technical works and the like, can you do that? That's the thing. And you know better what is required of your degree, of your career, no? Of your discipline, of your course. Kung teacher ka, no, nag-education ka ng math, no, major in math, it is therefore expected marunong ka magturo sa math, marunong ka understand sa mga estudyante mo, magawa ng lesson plan, yun ang expectation sa iyo, no? 'Di ba? Kung tourism ka, marunong ka dapat magbenta ng isang area, no? Marunong ka mag-promote ng isang area, no? Marunong ka kung anong population, ano yung mga features ng isang area, di ba? Kung marketing ka, graduate, dapat magaling ka sa communication, both written and oral, no? Kasi marketing ka no? Marunong ka sa design, o di ba? Kasi marketing, paano ka magpo-promote sa isang bagay kung hindi ka marunong mag-design, di ba? Marunong ka sa mga language sa computer, in art and design. Hindi lang dapat architecture or computer science ang marunong nun. Dapat meron kang special skills related to your program. You know what I mean? Oh. So if you don't have those stuff, dapat pag-aralan mo 'yun because that is what is expected from you, no? So this ability refers to your skills, your competencies, no? What talents that you have that are necessary for the performance of the function. The other one is your fitness. Ibig sabihin nun, yung culture, yung personality, yung attitude. At sinasabi ko pabalik-balik na merong impression ang Generation Z kayo, no? Tawag sa inyo, tama ba? No? Generation Z or the iGen that you don't stick to one. Kaya nauso sa inyo ang kasabihang #walang forever. Okay? Kasi kayo yung mga taong andali magsawa, no? You want to hop from one to another. Ako, I have students now in the graduate school, ka generation ninyo. They've been into several companies already. Ako, since my graduation, isang company lang talaga ako, no? Of course, naiiba ako nasa ibang henerasyon ako, no? Pero companies are looking for someone who can stay long. Kasi I'm going to invest in you, no, 'di ba? So, if I'm going to invest in you, I will also expect that you are going to meron akong return from you, all right? So, gina-expect natin ang loyalty sa isang tao, and loyalty you seldom find that sa henerasyon natin, sa panahon natin ngayon, no, yung isang taong loyal, no, yung mag-i-stick talaga. Sandali ha.
So if you want to have a water break for a while, you may do so. So while waiting. And you can also use our Q&A portion sa webinar natin for those who are here at the Zoom webinar. You can use the Q&A portion of the webinar so that your questions will be entertained later. Okay. So just for the information of everyone, so after this, you will have your attendance. You just go to your LMS for checking what are the instructions of your CAED 500C coaches. Okay. So all of the instructions after the seminar will be posted on your LMS. Okay. So just for the information of others also, this is being streamed live at our YouTube channel. So just search for the University of Mindanao official and you can see this one. So this is recorded. No? So if you want to review the talk this morning, you can just log on to our Facebook channel. I mean YouTube channel. Sorry for that. YouTube channel. And then if you still want to listen, and to recapture again all those details or information given by our speaker a while ago, you can also join later. This afternoon, we'll have another session. But it's not required because you're just going to choose whether in the morning or in the afternoon session. So for those who are not available in the um, morning session, so you can join with the afternoon. So you can also tell that one to your classmates or your friends or currently enrolled in our CAED. Okay. So again, you use the Q&A button of our Zoom webinar, for your questions. Okay, and then if you have comments or you want to share something with regards to the topic, you can use the chat. Okay.
Okay, we're back. Sorry for that. Thank you, Benji. So, okay, again, we said that the purpose of the interview is number one, to test whether you can perform, you have the ability, you have the qualifications. The second is your personality, whether your personality, your attitude, your character fit the requirement of the position and of the company. The other one is your motivation and enthusiasm. Importante sa isang tao na motivated siya, no? Importante sa kanya na meron siyang dream to succeed in life, all right? Because if you have career ambition, it means that you are going to ensure that you can deliver what is expected of you and even go beyond what is expected from you, all right? The other one is your past accomplishments, because your history, the things that happened in the past, actually will also tell what will happen to you in the future and what are you going to do in the future, no? So kung anong pinagagawa mo in the past, lalo na kung anong pinagagawa mo during the pandemic, will reflect how resilient you are, how agile you are, no? How you were able to make yourself productive despite the difficult situation that we are in right now, no? The other one is the knowledge of the company. So sinasabi ko na sa inyo kanina that since you want to establish a relationship, an engagement, an attachment with the organization, I'd like to know, being the interviewer, whether you have advanced knowledge about our organization and about our position. No? That's why you will be asked a question, why do you want to work in our company? Or why you are applying in our company? Why you are applying for this position? So wag mo sagutin nga, why I'm applying for this position? Because you made an announcement, sir, that you are hiring for this one and for that, no? 'Di ba? So hindi pwede ganoon, no? Dapat ano ka talaga, no? Ready ka to respond if this question will be asked to you. Sabi dito, little or no knowledge about the company is the most common mistake during the interview. Okay? Well, in terms of content, yun yung hinahanap natin, no? But the other one is communication skills, no? Because regardless, as I said, no, please remember that always, that regardless of the kind of job that you are going to have, or the kind of career that you are going to have in the future, there will really come a point, no, that you are going to communicate your rights or you talk, no, and the fact that you have earned a degree, no, you are trained in a university, there is an expectation that you can write and you can talk well, all right? So they want to assess your communication skills because uh, common question among students, what if I cannot talk well? The question there, the answer there is why not? Diba? You have been into formal education since elementary, your high school, and your college, and there are always communication courses. Then why you cannot communicate well? Why you cannot write well? Why you cannot talk well? No? So, which means that you were not serious when you were in school. All right? That's the impression. Okay. So in terms of communication, I am telling you that there is no ifs and buts. There is no compromises. There is always an impression from the HR, from the interviewer that you can communicate well. All right. The other one is job stability and loyalty, your growth potential. So again, we go back to the question of how do you see yourself in 10 years, in 15 years? So it's about it's about your career aspiration in life, no? What do you want still to achieve given your young age, no? Okay, do you have an career ambition? Do you have an aspiration in life? Something like that. Your interpersonal skills is very important, no? Because you are going to work with other people. I mean, there is no single course present today that when you are going to work, you will just stay in the nook forever. All right. You will just stay in the corner forever and that you are not going to talk to anybody in the office. No, you're not. No, you are going to talk. You are going to deal with co-employees, with your supervisor, with other people. Even if you're going to run your own business, put up your own business, put up your own center. If you are, for example, an IT or computer science, and you are going to, uh, run your own company or your own office, and you are going to accept, companies outside who are going to hire for your services, still you are going to communicate with them, no? And importante yung interpersonal skills. How are you going to deal with your clients, with your co-employees, with your supervisors, with your managers, and the like. So interpersonal skills is very important, no? Critical thinking skills. Kaya nga sinasabi natin that um, common but most neglected sense of a person is common sense. You know what I mean? All right? Sometimes maisip mo, halimbawa, nagpipila ka sa isang lugar, alam na natin ang condition ngayon that we have to maintain physical distance. Sinasabi mag-physical distance ka kasi nga ganito ganyan. We know the protocol and the requirements, no? And preventions for the spread of the virus, no? For the disease. Makita mo sa isang upuan, magkatabi. Tapos merong upuan sa likod, no? Sinasabi nga physical distance no? Bakit nakahilera, nakalinya, something like that. Even if may distansya, same pa rin, no? So, sinasabi natin, grabe naman, walang common sense, no? O, di ba? So, common nga siya, pero most neglected sense ng human being is common sense. No? So, it's akin to critical thinking skills. Minsan, masasabi mo, pinag-iisipan ba talaga yan? No? Yung paggawa ng isang bagay, pinag-iisipan mo ba yan? No? If you have committed a mistake first time, forgivable yan. But kung pabalik-balik na ang mistake mo, katangahan na yan, no? 'Di ba? So, yeah. Okay. And importante when you respond to questions of the hiring managers or of the interviewers, you have to be specific, no? For you to show a vivid picture of what you are trying to say. And you can do that by citing an example, citing an experience. No? Okay. All right. So, in short, what employers most look for an interview, one is that your ability to do the job, no? Your skills, your talents, your competencies, your abilities. Marunong ka ba, no? Marunong ka ba in short, no? Alam mo ba kung kailangan mo maggawa ng ganito, kailangan mo mag-perform ng isang equipment, no? Mag-manipulate ng isang equipment, marunong ka ba? Alright? Kailangan mo magawa ng report, marunong ka ba magsulat, whatever. No? So, ibig sabihin, yung iyong ability to perform the job. Okay. Next one na i-ask sa iyo is about, will you do the job? Marunong ka nga, no? The thing is, do you have the interest, the motivation, and the right values to work? So for example, sasabihin ng interviewer that, okay, you're from Davao, right? Sasabihin mo, yes sir, okay. Because our company is based in Manila and we have branches in Baguio and Cebu, no? And those are the branches that we have right now. So ikaw excited ka kay wow, gusto ko sa Cebu or gusto ko sa Baguio, no? Ang daming COVID pa naman doon. Tapos, sa sinasabi ng interviewer and we are planning to put up, we are helping the government, no, for its Marawi rebuilding program, and we are going to put up a branch in Marawi. All right. That's why we are here in Davao, because we believe that, workforce in Davao is very good. There's a good talent here in Davao City, and Davao is closer to Marawi compared to we're going to hire people in Cebu and in Baguio and in Manila, no? And people in Davao are most likely associated or can understand, no, almost the same culture with people in Marawi because you belong to the same island. Are you willing to work in Marawi? Oh, di ba? Oh, sasabihin mo, nge, isip na ako sa Baguio or sa Cebu niya adto ko sa Marawi, 'di ba? So where is the interest there, no? The right values to work, 'di ba? Will you do the job? Hmm, okay? So instead, pwede mo sabihin that, oh, you know what, sir, I'm that person who loves to see new places and who loves to expand my network of friendships, no, network of people whom I know, and that's a wonderful opportunity also for me to travel to other place. There's no problem, no. I will work there in Marawi. That's why I'm here. Okay, so it's about the interest. It's about the motivation. Okay. Next one is that will you fit in the company and its culture? So what about your interpersonal skills, your adaptability, your positive work attitude? So let's go back to the question of why do you want to work in our company? All right. So you can say that, oh, you know what, ma'am, I have read your vision and mission statement, which states that. So, memorya mo ang vision and mission statement ng company, di ba? So, ma-impress ngayon ng HR kasi, wow, memoryado niya. Ako nga, hindi ko nga memorya yon, no, di ba? So, memorya mo, no, sasabihin mo that, you know, in your vision and mission statement, which states that, and that vision and mission statement is in nexus with my philosophy statement in life, which also states that. So, gawa ka ng philosophy statement in life mo na medyo anchor, no, or connect doon sa kanilang vision and mission statement. And then you can further say that, you see, ma'am, there is a perfect match of our vision and mission statement of your organization and my philosophy statement in life. And with that, I believe that if I will be given the opportunity to work in your company, I believe that I can contribute to the furtherance of your company. And I see growing myself in this organization over the years. O, di ba? So makaingon ng HR karon na wow, pinag-aralan talaga ng batang to, no, na kung ano ang meron ng company, and he is like interested to work in our company and be part of our organization. All right? Okay, mayroon sinasabi dito that being employed is a weakness, being employable is an opportunity. So sabi ko na kanina that dapat ang hinahanap ninyo hindi trabaho, no, kundi career. Dapat 'yun ang perspective ninyo. Ano ang career ninyo, no? Hindi lang siya trabaho. And sinasabi dito that kung ang isip ninyo is trabaho, and during this pandemic, no, matakot ka talaga ma-furlough, matakot ka talaga matanggal, no? Matakot ka talaga kung saan ka maghahanap ng trabaho dahil hindi ka employable. You know what I mean? Oh. Kung may trabaho ka na, you have that fear that you will lose your job because you have no extra talent, you have no extra ability. You are not really an asset to the company. And for those of you who are in business, you know the Pareto principle? The Pareto principle of 80-20 states that only 20% in any organization are really contributing to the 80% productivity of that organization. O, di ba? The other 80% are nuisance people in the organization making a messy 20% contribution to the productivity of the organization. O, mauna ang sinasabi ng Pareto principle. O, so, ibig sabihin, ikaw, saan mo gusto maging part? Sa 80% or sa 20% who are responsible of the 80% production ng organization? Okay? Kung nabilong ka sa 80% and you heard that because the pandemic and the situation really will last long pa, no? And companies are making adjustment. Kung wala ka sa gobyerno, kasi pag nasa gobyerno ka, assured ka, no? Kahit anong mangyari, soldado ka. Pero kung nasa private ka or you're running your own company, no? Problema mo talaga ngayon, no? Magtanggalan ang company ng trabaho, ng trabahante, no? O, isip mo, saan ka mabilong? Sa 80% or sa 20% ka? 80% kasi pwede ka naman wala. O, di ba? Or sa 20% ka because the company really see you as a valuable person, valuable individual who can make significant contribution, and the company cannot afford to lose you. Okay? So Isipin nyo yan, no? Dapat sa level nyo ngayon, mga bata pa kayo, isipin nyo yan kung paano kayo magiging valuable in the future sa inyong potential company, no? So sinasabi dito that being employable is an opportunity. So targetin ninyo hindi lang employment but being employable. So ano 'yon, no? Ano yung mga characteristics na dapat meron ka, no, for you to be an employable? Number one in the list, kahit pa anong survey ang basihan natin, anong tawag dito, old survey, recent survey, and the like, number one always in the list is communication skills. It's your ability to communicate, to speak and write well, no? Okay? So importante talaga marunong ka magsalita. And when I say communication skills, it does not mean only that you are good in English communication, but you talk with sense. Okay? You talk with sense. All right? Marunong ka magsalita ng may laman. Okay? Second in the list is good human relations. No? Ayan, siguro balik tayo sa communication skills. Importante katagalan, if you're looking for long-term relationship, may itsura ka nga, no? Pero tanga-tanga ka na magdagway, 'di ba? Tanga-tanga ka naman ka istorya, turn off factor ka ra gyud, no? May ra gyud ka sa primerong date, second date, pagkadugayan na wa na, no, bye-bye ka na gyud, 'di ba? So, importante yung stickiness factor. And the stickiness factor would mean that a person whom you can talk with, all right? Second is that good human relations. Third, work ethics. Pag sinasabi mo work ethics, these are people, kaya importante yung experience ninyo sa OJT because once you have your exposure, your work ethics will be developed over time. Ibig sabihin nun, pag sinasabi mo work ethics, marunong ka magsunod sa instruction ng supervisor mo, ng mga policy ng company. If you are required to wear ID, then mag-wear ka ng ID, mag-uniform ka, you follow orders, no? You submit your deadline on time, 'di ba? So yun yung work ethics, all right? Yung responsible ka sa trabaho mo na hindi kailangan that you will be reminded from time to time na may deadline ka, no, may assignment ka, napaso na sa LMS, no? O na lingag-lingag ka, tulog-tulog ka sa kangkungan, you know what I mean? Okay? So, importante yung work ethics na yon. Skillful. Ah, hindi lang ikaw trained sa specific skills or sa specific discipline mo. Ibig sabihin, meron ka pa mga value-added skills. Alright? For example, we have an STA here in the office. She's an architecture student. Well, you know, you expect an architecture to be good in the computer, design, and the like, no? But she's also good in video making, in video production, you know? That's a value-added talent of her, 'di ba? For an architecture student. For a marketing graduate, as I said, hindi ka lang dapat magaling magsalita at magsulat bilang marketing graduate or marketing student. Dapat may talent ka din sa language sa computer and design, di ba? Dapat alam mo yung lahat ng mga design, yung mga rules and styles in designing a brochure, for example, no? O in making a product appear to be, appealing to your potential customers, no? Or clients. You know what I mean? So yun yung mga skillful na sinasabi ko. So mag-enroll ka ng special skills, special talent. That's why, for example, sa business administration ata natin at saka sa criminology, I'm not sure with criminology, no? Meron tayong driving course. You are required to enroll in a driving course. Kasi kung magtrabaho ka sa isang company at marunong ka mag-drive, it's a plus points, no? Sa ating tourism, meron kayong foreign language, no? Because tourism ka no, you are going to deal with tourists, di ba? Foreigners. If you cannot speak their language, punta ka nga doon sa mga country na hindi marunong mag-English, kahirap, di ba? So, that's a typical example of skillful. Innovative, that's another core values of the university, no? Innovative, global vision, you know what's happening around, no? and your perspective is global, all right? Mature, you are mature, di ba? You are not easily governed by your emotion, no? Hindi ka dali masaktan, all right? Marunong ka mag-learn from your experience. Every time you commit a mistake, every time you fall, you know how to get up, no? And move on, all right? Morality, no? You know what's right, you are ethical, 'di ba? If you think that that is not good, then kasi alam mo hindi siya maganda, masama siya, hindi mo siya gawin, no? Or you go back to the golden rule of do not do bad to others if you don't others also do bad at you, 'di ba? Oh, so yun ang golden rule nun. The same thing with things and plants and animals, 'di ba? So, morality, language, technology, and financial proficiency and leadership. What I'm trying to say is that you screenshot these uh, 10 characteristics and you develop this over time and this will make you employable, all right? No matter what will happen, you are not afraid what will happen to your career in the future because you are assured that your foundation is very strong. And these 10 characteristics will strengthen your career foundation. All right? Especially lalo na kayo, mga bata pa kayo, you have plethora of time, no? To build your foundation. Do not waste every moment of your life. Okay? Or you can go back to the core values of the university on excellence, honesty and integrity, innovation and teamwork. These core values will remind you from time to time that if you are going to live with these values, then it will help you become successful in your career. Okay? Not in your work, but in your career. No? Whatever is your career decision and career choices in the future. All right. So in interview, there's the rule of three. When you face the interview, remember the rule of three. One is that you have to be brave. Do not go around the bush. Do not say anything that is not relevant. All right? In short, ayaw palingag-lingag, no? Ayaw pataka-taka, no? Dapat ang itubag nimo sa interview kung unsa bagyod ang purpose sa interviewer ngano siya gi-ask na question, no? Unsa iyahang gusto ka ani, di ba? And in fact, we have mentioned that already. No, let's go back to the three. One is to test your ability. Number two is your willingness to work, no willingness for the position. And number three is your assimilation and the acculturation to the organization. Whether you can adapt to our culture and the like. Okay, so you have to be brief. You have to be articulate because when you are articulate, there is a high impression of believability in you, you know, that and respect, not only believability but respect because you are a person of who is so serious when you have your formal training in the university, no? Because you can talk well and you can communicate well, all right? And you talk with sense. And number three, try to have a structure so that for you to not to go around the bush. Ano bang direction nito? Saan ba ito papunta na sagot? No? Kahit ano-ano na lang ang ginasabi. So, you can start with a general idea. You can give a specific, no? Cite an example, cite an experience, and then close your answer. All right? And go back to the position, go back to the interest. And when you give an answer, you always have to cite how is this relevant to the position. You know, man-notice ko ha, sa CAED 500, every time we do a mock interview, kulang ng ganun eh, kulang ng connection. Merong question halimbawa, if you were an animal, what kind of animal you are? Sasabihin niya, lion. Okay. Kailangan mo pa siya i-follow up, no? Why lion? Kailangan mo pa tanungin, no? Lion because you see the characteristics of a lion, very strong, quiet but yet strong. And my personality is like that. And so what? So kung strong ka and then quiet and strong, then what? You know what I mean? I mean we are not in a tay in an informal conversation, but we are in a formal conversation. And I am looking for someone who can perform the job. Okay. So if you are comparing yourself to a lion because the characteristics of quiet, timid, yet strong personality in lion are present in you, then how important is that in the performance of the function? So pwede ka maingon that I am a quiet, even if I am a quiet person, but I cannot be easily swayed by distractions. I am a person who is a goal-oriented one, and if I will be given a clear direction and a deadline and an expected output to accomplish, I believe and I can assure you that I can deliver that just like a lion. O anak ba, di ba? Naka-structure, no? Kanang mautas ka sa mga estudyante na pagpangutan-on nimo, wala, tulog-tulog sa kangkungan. O pare anang miingon na, ah, if I will be asking your teacher and your friends about you, what they would say about you. Mingon po dahil na sila nga, my teacher, if you're going to ask my teacher, then they will tell you that I am a hardworking person. Ulag ka pa, dugay kaayo. So, if you're a hardworking, everybody would say they are hardworking. But what makes you different from those who are also hardworking? Diba? Okay. So, try to have a structure, no? General idea, you cite specifics, experience kumbaga, to convince the HR, the interviewer, that you are the best candidate for the position. All right? Okay. So, I'm excited for the mock interview, ha? So, dili kanang usual lang na mga answer ba, all right? There must be call for action, there must be connect in your answer, no, to the needs of the company. And for sure, during your mock interview with your CAED 500 facilitators, they will give an assumption that when you are being interviewed, you are applying for a position that is relevant to your career, to your degree. Okay? Rule of marketing, you address their needs. You are not there because of your need to get a job, no? Because kailangan mo na ng sweldo, kailangan mo na ng mabuhay, kailangan mo na ng maging independent. Of course, nandun yan, no, sa personal mo, no, sa purpose mo why you are there. But remember that you are there because of them, not because of you. So let us not talk about my personal interest, but let's talk about your needs. Why you are looking for someone who can work on this position. And if they're going to hire you, what's in it for them? Can you perform the work? Can you perform the job? No, di ba? Will you be an asset to the company? All right. And then you focus on them. No? Because remember that they're the most important in the discussion, in the interview, not much on you. All right. As an applicant. So there are four types of interview. Why there's a need for you to know the types of interview so that you will know how to attack, no, your answer, how to frame your answer in such a way that it fits that style of the interview. Sample number one is simple questions, no. These are questions that require either yes or no, or answers, or a one word answer, no. So they mainly serve to verify info on your resume and prepare you for more rigorous questions ahead, no? Like how long did you work for the previous company? You drink or smoke? Something like that. No? So these are simple questions. You don't need a lengthy answers. The second one is object questions. These require more descriptive answers. That's why you call this object, because objective ito, no? 'Di ba? Pag sinasabi mo sa test mo sa exam, pag objective type, essay type, so kailangan mo i-discuss, no? Kailangan natin pag-usapan. Kailangan mo ang valuable ideas mo, no? So these questions can bolster your chances for the job because you can respond in a way that has to do with the position you're after. So for example, why do you want to work with our company? And we already talked about it. No? How are you going to do that? You establish connection of your personal career goals to the objectives of the company. No? What was it like to work in the previous company? And warning, do not say anything bad, no, to the previous company. because it will have an impression that if you do that, the same thing, you will do the same thing if you are not connected to our company anymore. All right. So, well, it was a wonderful experience. I learned a lot. Um, I got a good training. No, what specific learning that you get that you received from your previous company, and how do you see, what do you see, no, how do you appreciate the importance of this as you go through in your career, or if you will be given the opportunity to work in this company, then what value will it give to you, diba? Ganon, para makita na, itong tao na to, no, very proactive person siya. He is a very proactive, and he sees positive things, no? He sees every experience of him as an opportunity for him to grow and learn. 'Di ba? Yung mga ganon, no. Dapat ano lang, no, good vibes. What kind of work habits do you have? So explain mo, no? Explain mo. Ganito ako mag-work, ganito ako magtrabaho, and when I look at the position that you have in this company and the position that I am applying right now, I believe that this kind of work habit that I have is very useful and very significant because of this and because of that, no? And always kagid connect, no? Para makaingon jud siya na grabe ning bata, pinag-aralan, no? He is very much prepared for the position, o di ba? The other one is mirror questions, no? Mirror questions sometimes, well, CAED 500 students in the past, in the Q&A, they would say, "Sir, tinatanong ako ng ganito ba? And I don't see any connection at all. Sometimes I feel insulted on some questions, no?" Uh, well, because these are mirror questions. Sometimes you are tested on how are you going to manage situations like that. Will you still maintain your compose? O, di ba? Or will you be angst because you feel insulted? No? Okay. And then third one is that, I mean, the fourth one is unconnected questions. So akin to mirror questions, you will feel that and you will think that these questions have no relevance at all to your applying for the position. But still, why these questions are being asked? Because they want to know more about yourself. They are probing, no? These are probing questions, all right? Gusto ko i-test at matest kita by asking questions that are not connected, no? Because for sure, nakapaghanda ka, no? Pinaghandaan mo kung anong itatanong ko sa iyo, nakapag-attend ka ng CAED 500, no? Mga pre-employment seminar, nag-ask ka sa mga kakilala mo. Pero ito, talaga, no, hindi mo ini-expect that these questions will be asked during the interview, o di ba? So, pareho no isang exchange student, no? Nag-apply siya, exchange. Tapos nagtanong-tanong siya, no? Ngayon, so parang ready na daw siya. Yeah, alam ko na anong itatanong, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos nung interview, nung nagkita kami the other day, tinanong ko siya, no, o kamusta, ganyan-ganyan. So sir, hindi ko gi-expect na yun ang question mo. Akala ko ba nagtanong ka na? Oo, pero ang question mo is iba, no? So may mga ganyan talaga, no? Expect for things that are not expected, no? That will be raised during job interview. And after all, pabalik-balik tayo that why there is a job interview, because they want to know whether you can perform the job, whether you have the attitude, whether you have the personality, the characteristics, and whether you are ready to be part of our organization. Ganun lang naman yun eh, no? So, ayaw pawala sa direction, ayaw pawala, no, sa purpose why there is a job interview. Okay? All right. So let's take a look at some of the common job interview questions. Like, tell me something about yourself. No, common talaga yan, no? So it says here that you prepare a 1-minute synopsis of what qualifies you and what makes you the perfect candidate for the job. All right. So you describe your strengths, your accomplishments, and your experiences relevant to the position. What do you know about our company? So try to reveal that you know not only facts about the company, but that you have taken an analytical view of the company. In short, you have to you have to show to the interviewer that you have done good research, no, in-depth research about the company, about the organization, kung public, kung government office siya, what services are being offered, are being done, what recognitions, no, are given to this organization for outstanding performance and the like, no, what are the expectations for those who will be part of these organizations, no, okay. So dapat pag-aralan mo talaga. Like ako nung college ako, because it has been my aspiration to work in the government. I really want to work in the government during the time ng college ako. Kaya ako nag-economics. So, I know mga government agencies na gusto ko talaga applyan. No? Ito yung mga direction na once makapag-graduate na ako, dito ako mag-work. Pinag-aralan ko, no? Anong mga trabaho nila, anong dapat attitude, ano dapat ang expectation sa isang empleyado na makapasok sa ganitong government agency, something like that. What's your greatest weakness? Do not say that you don't have, because it's impossible for us now. We don't have weakness. We have weaknesses, no? But why this question is being asked is that they are interested to know how you turn that weakness into something else. How do you manage that weakness? No, that's the most important thing. I'm not after your weakness, but I am after of how you get up, no? How you get up from every fall, from every mistake, from every difficulty, from missing piece that you have, no, from something that is not perfect in you. How do you correct that? Okay, that is what is more important than your weakness. Okay, because if you would say that you don't have weakness, you are boastful, no, you are boastful, may attitude ka, no, kasi feeling mo wala. All right, o pareho lang yung question na is what is there in the past that, if you have the choice, you want to change that. Okay, yan, may ngumpadayin ka na, I believe that there is nothing in the past that I want to change, because I believe that everything happens perfectly in the grace of God, and I believe that I cannot reach who I am right now if it is not because of anything that happens in my past. Dili pwede ingon ana, oy kinaamang gyud na, no? It's akin to saying, if ganyan ang answer mo, it's akin to saying that you cannot recognize mistake, no? So what is important there, what is the most important in that question is that your ability to recognize a mistake in the past and how you learn from that mistake. Okay? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? So ayaw po ing na nga, ma'am, you have to hire me because, my father lost his job because of pandemic. My mom also has no job. I have 5 siblings. I'm the eldest of them all. And I believe that with your corporate social responsibility, you want to help those who are in need. Ayaw, anak, no? Parang MMK, mao na, mirisin mo, mahilig kay ka magtanaw og mga Korean drama o mga maalaala mo kaya na mga drama, no? So, nagiging emotional ka sa imong answer. No, because you have to bank on your qualifications. All right? Okay. Do you have any question? Ito, this is a mortal sin. Leaving the job interview without you asking any question. You have to ask question, my goodness. Just like today, no, do not leave. Do not end our session without you asking any question, because there are gazillion plethora of questions around that you can ask. And if you will not ask question, it's a form of laziness, di ba? It's a form that you are not, it's akin to saying that you are not interested. That lack of interest in you, no, will not result to something good also in you. All right? It's nice to ask question, no? So do not leave the interview area, the interview session without any question. Okay? What can you contribute most to our organization? Mayon po dahil ka, alam ma'am na di amutan, kay contribute good, no? Diba? So, wag yung kumasayod mga mag-amot di ay ta. Nag-apply kong trabaho kay wakoy kwarta, o niya, pamuton pa dyan ko nimo, diba, no? Oh. So, Well, you can say that over and above my well appreciated and commended performance in the university and during my on the job training or internship, I work harder and am more committed to work than most people. Come to think of this, ma'am, that next to my relationship to God and family comes my work. O, di ba? So, yun ana lang. Well, I'd like to share this. We're about to end our session today. A few slides left. I'd like to share this. There's a survey done by PMAP. PMAP is an organization of HR managers in the country, and they did a survey years ago looking at what are the most common interview mistakes done by applicants. And these are the result, no? Topping the list is answering cell phone or texting. So when you're in an interview, please switch your phone to a silent mode or switch off your phone at all so that you will not be distracted, no? Dressing inappropriately. That's why we have incorporated in our CAED 500 how to dress properly, and that's going to be our next session, no, for component C. Appearing disinterested, no, kanang kung imo siyang pangutanon, wala, dili siya excited, kulang og energy, murag wala ka pamahaw. Alright, walang kalutay-lutay, no, nagdali-dali. Appearing arrogant, no, kung kaning appearing disinterested, uga, kaning pong isa hambugiro, no, kaning isa appearing unprepared, tulog-tulog po di sa kangkungan, di ba? So nga dugay kay makasumpay, no, di ba? Maguna-una pag unsay istorya, so ana appearing unprepared. Unya, matense man, mura siyang kanding, mag usap-usap anang chewing gum. Alright? Not providing specific answers. Feeling niya na siya sa beauty contest, nag-appear siya og Miss World or Miss Universe, no? Mga generic ang answers. Kana sagdira na sila because time kasi yan, 40 seconds only. Ikaw, you are not time, you are not given a specific time to respond to each question, di ba? So you can really talk, no? And see, number 8, not asking good questions. Magdali-dali pag ingon, do you have any question? No, I don't have question. Ay, salamat, mahuman na gyud ko, o di ba? So wala, it's a demerit on your part if you will not ask question during job interview. Okay? Lastly, I already mentioned that most HR, they will look at your social media account as a form of background investigation. So there are social media etiquette that you have to observe. Okay, one is that blustering or attacking social media no-nos, blustering or attacking other person's character, or being enraged with organization's failure. No, big sabihin, galit ka sa mundo, galit ka sa tao, galit ka, imong i-post dito, no? Suko kay kas PLDT kay Y signal. Unya, unsa di ay ka, unsa di imong plan? Dili, nagload lang ka og 50 pesos, good for 7 days. Wow, the audacity of you, no, to make yaw-yaw sa social media na wala kay connection sa PLDT. Huwag kayo nagyaw-yaw ang mga premium account na tag 2,000 ang bayad, di ba? So, 50 pesos lang man ka, then you deserve, no? Ana lang jud pud nga MB ang imong makuha. Okay? Oh. Napoy uban magyaw-yaw kay nagsakay sa jeep. Pagsakay sa jeep, ang iyang katapad taas kayo ubuhok. Paghangin nanuksok ang buhok sa iyang ilong ug sa iyang mata, di ba? So imo dayong gi-post sa social media. Ano wa nimo gibadlong imuhang kasakay kaganina, di ba? So I mean, you have to be careful in what you have post in the social media, no? Foul, profane, vulgar words, no? So, these are reflection of your personality and of your character. And if you do that, for sure, you will also do the same thing if we are going to hire you, no? Okay. And sharing an original post or articles without making any rational discussions or comments. Nag-share ka lang niya, wa na dayon, no? Di ba? So, ano ka mag-share? For what purpose? And it's not your own work, no? Okay. So I think that's all. Time for you to raise questions. I'll turn over the hosting to Benji.
Thank you so much, Sir Ray, for all the inputs. No?
And
So,
we're
guys,
also
it's,
live in YouTube, right?
yes, sir, we're live.
Okay.
So, we have a question. Medyo taas-taas man. It says here, Hi Sir Reynaldo, my name is Philbert Alvarez from CBE. I am a type of person who believes that business is better than any job. I see job as a stepping stone to establish myself in business. I've been preparing myself to get into that path, and at the same time, I am currently working on a certain job. Though I have experience working with the management team in the past company I worked with, the new company I am working right now wanted me to have a role in the management, but I declined for a reason that I wanted to have more leverage and freedom to work on my startup business, and I am currently studying at the same time. Do you think me rejecting the offer is a good course of action?
Well, number one, there is always a principle that if there is an offer from your company, the offer will only comes once. So when you make a decision, especially of rejecting the offer, you really have to think that many, many times the possible consequences of it. If you can afford, if you can afford the possible negative consequences of saying no to the offer or to the promotion, well, that's okay. Since for you, you have a direction and you have a goal that you want to start your own business, no? But the point there is that for how long you are going to stay in the company, and ikaw mismo you know whether it would be okay for them to decline the offer or not. Because let's accept the fact that once an offer is being rejected, there will be negative consequences. No? Mag-iiba talaga, ikaw Dobby, ma-reject. 'Di ba? Masakit talaga yon, masama talaga yon, hindi talaga maganda ma-reject. So, same thing yan sa isang company. No? So, kung after the rejection, gaano ka pa katagal mag-i-stay sa company, and kung okay lang ba sa kanila yon, ma-accept ba nila yon, no? Okay lang. Pero kung hindi, careful ka because they will be, um, they will be sensitive to it, and baka posible hanapan kanila ng something. Hindi natin alam. No? Kaya ikaw mismo nakakaalam sa kind of environment, kind of organization that you are in right now. No? So depende yan kung gaano ka pa katagal magstay there, or kung meron ka na ba talagang business. No? Sometimes alam mo kasi meron tayong gusto mangyari sa buhay natin, but fate will not favor our decision. No? So yung mga ganun.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Do we still have other questions? Maybe we can also encourage our students to type their questions, even those students are actually um, viewing the seminar via YouTube.
There's another question. I believe yung nagtanong kanina ha, medyo si Philbert, medyo for sure ano na siya of a more mature age, no, than usual age of a college student, because based on the way he asked his question, and based on the experience that he has right now. So okay.
Here's another question, sir, from Marwin Lingo. It is good to know the interest and value of every applicant seeking for a job suit for his or herself in a particular company, yet there are instances also that they fail to reach the standards of the manager. What advices can you give to this kind of situation?
You know, what is important during the application process is that you reach, no, the basic requirement of the company, and if you will be hired for the position, do not expect that right away the company or the manager will also expect that you will deliver what is expected from you. You know what I mean? Hindi ibig sabihin noon na kung ako ang manager, iba nga ang goal ko, iba nga ang attitude ko, iba nga ang character ko. Pag once na hire ka, dapat in 1 week's time, no, ma-deliver mo agad-agad. No, hindi naman. Meron naman tayong tinatawag na anong tawag noon? Observation period. Kaya nga meron tayo, no, tinatawag na probationary period of 6 months. So during that time, hindi ka pa pwede tanggalin, but yun yung time na you are under observation. So, oobserbahan ka ng company, oobserbahan ka ng manager mo. At the same time, you will also do the same thing. You have to study the character, the management and leadership style of your manager, of your immediate supervisor. And if you want to stay in that organization or in that office, and if you think that this is the management style, no, of the manager or of your supervisor, then you really have to tailor fit to go with the flow, no? Kasi merong kasabihan ang mga ganyang mga boss, lalo na if matagal na sila, no, sa company, sa position, may kasabihan yan sila that the boss is always right, no matter what. No? Number two rule, if the boss is wrong, you go back to rule number one, that the boss is always right. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So another question from Kenneth Brian in Galia. With regards to asking questions in an interview, how often can you bring up questions to the interviewer?
One or two questions would be enough, no? And what questions are you going to ask? Well, those are relating to the position, relating to the company, relating to the job, no? And relating probably to your application, something like that. No? So one or two questions is enough.
I think, sir, there are no other questions now.
Okay.
Um, meron pa, sir. From Jeremy Youngwas. Hi, sir. Is it appropriate to ask for the basic salary?
I'm telling you, it's your privilege, no? It's your privilege to know how much is the pay and remuneration of the position. But do not ask that question during job interview. You ask that, you get the information outside the interview, probably prior to your application, prior to applying for the position. And if you think that the pay and the benefits, no, is not within your interest, then do not proceed. All right. But if you think that is okay, then you that's one thing that is nice in the government, because whenever there are opening position, the salary grade and standards are already included in the job announcement. Some companies, private companies, that's also included though, because especially if the pay is competitive, they usually offer that. No, but you should know the basic ang tawag nito, no, the basic rate or the minimum wage for your degree. Our government has set a minimum basic wage naman. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is that get this information before the interview and do not ask this question during the interview, because it will give an impression that number one, you are not making your advanced research, and number two, if I'm going to tell you the figure, then, and if you think that you are not, it's not within the expectations, your expectations, then you will back out. O, di ba? And then bakit ka pa nag-interview? You know what I mean? So it will just sour, no, put some bad taste to our relationship, and we don't like that to happen. Even if, for example, you will not be hired uh, right away in that present position, because there's still a possibility that in the future, no, you will deal with this organization or with this agency. Okay.
So thank you very much, sir. So I think that's it, for this session. Okay, thank you very much. And we still have another session. For those who are not able to join us this morning, we will have the session two of the component B seminar this afternoon exactly 1:30 p.m. For your attendance, so you just go to your LMS. Uh, Please check whatever instructions to be given by your coaches. And after the component B seminar, March 2 will be our componency seminar. We're in that seminar also is very exciting because we will talk about job interview, and of course we will also talk about the mock interview, which is very one of the highlights no, of CAED 500. All right. So again, thank you very much, Ray, for your time and also for giving us a lot of knowledge with regards to what are the things that you have to do with an application letter and resume, and
Thank you very
also how to
much
raise the
and be
HR.
safe, everyone. The most important thing, one of the most important things that you have to put in mind this time is for you to be safe, and we will survive in this situation.
Yes. All right. So another thing, guys. So please also check no your LMS with regards to your instruction no for passing your application letter and resume. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. Keep safe and God bless.